Good morning, beautiful people, and thank you so much for joining us on this other edition of The Brief, live on My Media Prime Television, a program where we always get to dig several layers beneath the major headlines as captured by newspapers in the country. On today's edition of the program, the other newspapers are accusing the state daily or national bilingual daily Cameroon Tribune of not projecting the activities of the Prime Minister of the country, even when he is representing the head of state, President Paul Biya, at high-profile meetings, especially abroad. We shall tell you more on what political watchers are saying regarding what Cameroon Tribune is doing to the Prime Minister of the country by not projecting the works of the Prime Minister. We shall equally tell you about what pirates have done in Indian division of the southwest region of the country, where 3 boats are said to have been taken away by pirates. The boats are carrying goods and other stuffs from Nigeria were intercepted and taken away by pirates, as we shall be telling you more in this edition of the program. And equally at the National Assembly, we are told that the budget has finally been adjusted, or the budget orientation, the document that was sent to Parliament very late. Reasons why opposition political parties, or MPs from opposition political parties, had to object or interrupt the session. And at the end of the day, we are told that the document was adopted without any deliberation. And 6,040 billion francs CFA is the amount that has been set aside by government for 2023 priority projects, as we are told by many newspapers this morning. Gwladys Bomotonguina is here. Let's have the headlines in the French language newspapers. Bonjour Gwladys.
Bonjour Lasha. Bonjour à vous fidèles téléspectateurs, et merci de nous retrouver aussi nombreux pour cette autre édition de Debrief, votre émission bilingue de revue de presse sur Ma Media Prime Télévision. Alors ce matin, nous allons débuter effectivement avec Cameroun Tribune. Cameroun Tribune, lui, qui nous parle donc en grand titre de la lutte contre l'insécurité au Cameroun. Les parlementaires qui se remobilisent donc. Les détails sont donc en pages 6 et 7 de Cameroun Tribune ce matin. Nous poursuivons, mesdames, messieurs, avec le journal L'Essentiel. Le journal L'Essentiel qui nous parle en grand titre de financement à la FECAFOOT. À quand la fin du flou? C'est du moins la question que se pose L'Essentiel ce matin pour parler ici des 560 millions de francs CFA qui étaient supposés revenir à la FECAFOOT, signé par le secrétaire d'État à la présidence Ferdinand Ngongo, et qui n'est jamais rentré dans les caisses de la FECAFOOT jusqu'à aujourd'hui. C'est du moins ce que présente Samuel Etofis, le président de la Fédération camerounaise de football. Les détails sont donc en page 11 de L'Essentiel ce matin. En page 4, le journal nous parle de prestations consulaires, un projet de loi sur la digitalisation. Nous restons toujours dans L'Essentiel ce matin à sa page 6 et 7. Le journal nous parle de SAGO 2022. La plus-value du MINFOPRA, logement SIC, recouvrement forcé des créanciers. Les détails sont donc en page 7 du journal L'Essentiel ce matin. Nous poursuivons, mesdames, messieurs, avec Émergence quotidien. Émergence quotidien qui nous parle, lui, en grand titre des dettes du Cameroun. Le journal nous révèle ce matin que le Cameroun est parmi les pays les plus endettés d'Afrique. En effet, le Cameroun est endetté auprès de la Chine, auprès de la FMI, auprès de la Banque mondiale, pour n'en citer que cela. Les détails sont donc en page 5 d'Émergence quotidien ce matin. À sa page 7, le journal nous parle de Mungo Banalea, des jeunes vacanciers à l'école de la formation professionnelle et du réarmement moral. Magénie, le sempiternel problème des salaires impayés, du moins les salaires sont toujours impayés au Magénie jusqu'à aujourd'hui. Les détails sont donc en page 3 d'Émergence quotidien ce matin. Nous poursuivons, mesdames, messieurs, avec Mutation. Mutation quotidien qui parle, lui, en grand titre de la vie chère au Cameroun, le réchauffé du gouvernement. En effet, entre 2023 et 2025, le gouvernement s'engage donc à produire localement du blé, du poisson, du maïs, du lait et du riz afin de réduire les importations. Une promesse déjà donc entendue auparavant. Les détails sont donc en page 11 du journal Mutation quotidien ce matin. À sa page 6, le journal nous parle d'examen officiel au Cameroun. Le BFPC qui livre donc ses résultats. Toujours dans le journal Mutation, à sa page 8, le journal nous parle du CNPS, les branches de la sécurité sociale. Nous poursuivons, mesdames, messieurs, avec le Messager. Le Messager parle donc en grand titre de Covid-19. Vac Santé, l'arme fatale. Ce système donc numérique de sécurisation et de délivrance des certificats de vaccination anti-Covid-19 présenté contre l'antidote contre les réseaux de facilitation de pass sanitaires répandus à travers le pays. Les détails sont donc en page 5 du journal Le Messager ce matin. À sa page 2, le journal nous parle de débat d'orientation budgétaire à l'Assemblée nationale. Le journal révèle ce matin que des millions de francs CFA ont été donc déboursés pour calmer l'opposition. Chaque député aurait donc reçu la moitié des indemnités de session pour revenir à des meilleurs sentiments. C'est du moins ce que révèle le journal Le Messager ce matin. Mesdames, Messieurs, nous sommes arrivés au terme de ces titres en langue française. Place à la découverte des titres. Avec toi, Lasha.
Thank you very much, Gwladys Bomotonguina. Let's kickstart this morning with the Guardian Post newspaper. The Guardian Post this morning is focusing on what I told you in my introduction. We are talking about Cameroon Tribune, the state bilingual daily. We are talking about Cameroon Tribune that has been accused by political watchers of sidelining the Prime Minister of the Republic of the country. The paper this morning is questioning, is Cameroon Tribune eclipsing PM Diongute's activities? That's the question the Guardian Post is asking this morning. Watchers of the media landscape are expressing concerns over the diminishing visibility the state-owned daily is giving to the PM's activities, and even when he is representing the head of states at high-profile events, his events are never brought to limelight by the said newspaper. You can read more on the war, the Cold War, as told by the Guardian Post newspaper, only in this edition of the paper on page 3. And the paper is also accusing the government of continuous borrowing and nothing to show for. Government, according to the paper, keeps borrowing but nothing to show for. Parliament have been told, or has been told by the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, by Robbie, that the African Development Bank, ADB, was in the process of lending Cameroon with 41 billion francs CFA. Reasons why the paper is saying this morning that Cameroon keeps borrowing but nothing to show for. You can read more on the analysis, this editorial piece by the Guardian Post newspaper, talking about the government continues borrowing from international community but nothing to show for. We continue to talk about other issues in the paper, this time around the storming session or parliamentary session that just ended in Yaoundé. Government projects over 6,040 billion francs CFA as 2023 state budget. The paper tells us further that the government of the Republic of Cameroon has projecting, or is projecting, the sum of 6,040.4 billion francs CFA as amount to be spent on global resources for the state in the 2023 fiscal year. The projections were made July 5, 2022 by the Minister of Finance, Louis-Paul Moutaze, at the National Assembly. The Minfi boss made the projections during the budgetary orientation debate while presenting the 2023-2025 medium-term economic and budgetary program document at the National Assembly. You can read more in this edition of the Guardian Post newspaper. Let's talk about the visit of the Archbishop of the Metropolitan Archdiocese of Yaoundé to the soldiers in the center region of the country. Yaoundé Archbishop, according to the paper, urges soldiers to be peace actors. He was speaking during his visit to the headquarters, or to a chapel that is at the headquarters or military headquarters in Yaoundé. Pirates hijacked 3 boats in Dian, seize goods and valuables. As the paper tells us, the pirates who reportedly hijacked the 3 boats, and the boats are still nowhere to be found, as we are told. Let's leave the Guardian Post newspaper. We are with the Post Weekender. The Post Weekender is focusing on what the paper terms indiscriminate killing in the northwest region of the country. Corpses litter streams and villages, writes the Post Weekender newspaper. The paper tells us further that inhabitants of Bamenda have said they are finding it difficult to go about their daily activities because corpses are found in neighborhoods. Corpses are found in neighborhoods, in nearby rivers, and even on their farms. You can read more in this edition of the revelation made by the population in that part of the country, talking about the situation in their communities as corpses of individuals or civilians are being seen on a daily basis. You can read more, like I earlier mentioned, on page 3 of this edition of the Post Weekender newspaper. And let's talk about education in the United States of America. In the U.S., students receive quality education ready to use skills. Education USA advisor, as she takes on a national tour to sensitize students who wish to study in the United States of America. You can read more in this edition of the Post Weekender newspaper. On to the Sun newspaper. The Sun newspaper is interested in the tense ending to parliamentary session in Yaoundé. MPs kick as government tables budget bill late. Opposition members of parliament stage walkout. Bill on budget orientation adopted without debate. That's what the Sun newspaper is telling us this morning. And the construction of a Kondo Titi Kumba road handed to the military engineering corps of the country. As we have been reading in the papers, those constructing the routes were under attack from gunmen. Reasons why the government has handed the construction of the set stretch of route to the military engineering corps. You can read more in this edition of the Sun newspaper. And still in the Sun newspaper, UK PM fighting for survival as 2 senior ministers quit his government. You can read more in this edition of the Sun newspaper on page 10. And the medically assisted reproduction bill adopted in Parliament. The Minister of Health of the country, Dr. Manoda Malashi, was at the National Assembly to defend the bill that has to do with medically assisted reproduction in the country. You can read more in this edition of the Sun newspaper. We end with municipal update, which is focusing this morning on who becomes the first Menchum minister. That's the question the municipal updates newspaper is asking this morning. The faces you see on the screen are the faces that the paper is questioning, that amongst those faces who will become the very first Menchum minister. And still in the municipal updates newspaper, Frundi celebrates 81st birthday today. The national chairman of the Social Democratic Front Party, the SDA, turns 81 today. Thank you for watching, televiewers on My Media Prime. We are back as usual to continue with our discussions. Gwladys Bomotonguina.
Lasha, et ce matin, nous allons commencer avec l'Assemblée nationale.
Oui, effectivement. Maitre Alex, thank you very much for joining as usual.
Good morning, Mr. Lasha. Good morning, Gwladys. Good morning to your team. Good morning to the beautiful people of Cameroon. As I sit on your program today, we are having a historic moment. Boris Johnson will be resigning in London. We see real democracy. When the people don't want to, you have to go. And I'll tell you, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom has been lying, covering lies, lack of integrity, no probity. He's going to go today. And it's very important. When I sit here and I speak, we need democracy in Cameroon. It is very, very important. We don't need people who stay there for 50 years. They don't elect them, they appoint them. We have to start electing people. The people have to choose who are ministers in that country. I just saw something you said, mention to have the first maybe minister. You don't put ministers because they come from a particular area. That's nepotism. You have to show your competence. You have to show the people want you. You have to show the people want you to be there. It's not because you come from an area that distribute minister. You look at competent people. I don't care if all the ministers in the Cameroons are Betty if they are competent. I don't care if all the ministers are from Manu if they are competent. I don't care if a minister, husband and wife are there if they are competent. We should stop these things destroying Cameroon, and we need a new Cameroon. We have to change this idea that ministers have to come from different areas. The job of a minister are clear, and we have to focus on that. Once more, good morning to the viewers of my brief.
Okay, Maitre Alex, I'm taking you straight to the National Assembly where the June session of Parliament just ended, and there was a stormy session or plenary that took place where opposition MPs had to walk out of session that was dedicated to budgetary orientation, and the budget was finally adopted without any debate, and it was 6,040 billion or 6,040 billion francs CFA as a 2023 state budget. And Maitre Alex, what do you have to say to that? MPs walk out of session and debate, they validate a document without the MPs.
To be honest, I always tell you, if you have the ruling CPDM party that have got absolute majority, what they are going to do there is wishy-washy, is whitewash. They are not important. Even in Western democracy, if you have a working majority, you don't need the opposition. So opposition does not exist in Cameroon. I don't know if they follow our program this week when we were describing their action that they are useless. At the end of the day, if they want to play to the gallery, if they want to back to the moon, that's what they are doing. The point is, I'll keep on making it clear. The CPDM government have got absolute majority. That's 152 seats. They are in coalition with the UNDP 7 added there. So the opposition, what we call the opposition, doesn't exist in Cameroon. Even if they debate, we know what is going to happen. So we should be looking forward to make sure and start drafting manifesto how we can have a seat that we can contest with the ruling CPDM party. Everything that goes to the house is going to pass through. So why do we keep on pretending as if we don't know? We just go and make gimmicks, we play, we shout. Yes, I will support somebody who is genuine in the house and walk out and challenge them. But we know nothing is going to change. As things stand in that parliament, everything that goes to the parliament is going to go through. So we are just wasting our time. And more so, most of those parliamentarians, sometimes, like the ruling CPDM parliamentarians, they can back and join the opposition. But unfortunately, these people, they are being paid by the ruling party. So nothing can change, because if you don't follow orders from the presidency, you will lose your seat. I know a couple of MPs that they wanted to talk. So
Maitre, when these people do what they do, is it in the interest of the nation? Why do you think they are doing what they are doing? Does it mean that everything the CPDM does is okay, is excellent? Nobody can oppose and say, no, look, this thing will take the nation off the rail.
The problem is most people who want to become members of parliament, one, they don't even know what's the function of a member of a parliament. Most of them, they don't know. I'm not making it up. They don't even know. They don't know that you represent a constituency. They don't know that if you are going to a parliament, you have
but in Cameroon, they say député de la nation. That's what they say in Cameroon. When you're an MP, you are an MP for the nation.
So you are, we can just say that oh, you are an MP in the United Kingdom of America, but you represent particular people. Constituency are different. What somebody is facing in Boya is not something that somebody is facing in Manu or in Banso. So you are going, take it, they call them local MP, because you know that, okay, we don't have water in my place in Boya. You take it to the National Assembly. I keep on seeing, they keep on saying session. They will go June session, they disappear. No, you don't disappear. You are representing people. You have to be there 24/7. They can have a break. National Assembly is a place of work. MPs be there working like you are working there. Somebody is in an office. You don't come for a session and disappear. Our problem doesn't stop. People have to go. I'll tell you, most members of parliament in Cameroon, they don't have constituency offices. You have to have an office if you are locally, that your members of your constituent, they have to come there and tell you, MP, I have ABC problem. Then they would listen to you. They can solve it. Some of them, they have to go to the National Assembly and talk about it. But these people are just there. They are confused. That you're not national. When you are an MP, they vote you to represent a particular area. That's your concern.
Maitre,
and let me tell you something.
My worry, like those of many Cameroonians out there, is why this MP do what they do. Does it mean that they don't like the nation Cameroon?
The problem is, as a member of parliament in the Cameroons, you don't owe your mandate from the people. Although we elect them, you owe your mandate to the president of the republic. Once, as you know, you don't dance to the tune, they will make sure they kick you out. So, unlike other countries, you don't care. Like you see, a lot of people have been resigning from the government of the prime minister of the United Kingdom. The reason they are resigning, they know that if they support him, this liar, when next election comes, the constituent, they will not vote for him. So you owe your allegiance to the people who vote for you, not to Boris Johnson. But in Cameroon, you owe your allegiance to the head of state. That's why you see them every time they come, we thank the head of state. Because if you don't thank the head of state, they will kick you out. So that is the point. The day that the people, the voters, they're going to be representing, or you get your mandate from the voters. Don't get me wrong. They will tell you the people voted for them. They don't vote. They just put a list system, and sometimes they change the ballot. They go there at night. I know people who have money. So most of them, they were not voted by the people. So they are people, they owe their allegiance to the head of state. They are not really members of parliament. That's why they like to talk about national issues. That's why I would like to see some of the local MPs to come to your program, to talk about electricity, to talk about water, to talk about high prices and other things, and to tell us why some people who are ministers in government are about lying. They will never come and sit on your program and talk, because they are all, most of them, they are liars, and they cannot defend their lies.
Yes, let's stay in Parliament. And the Minister of Trade and Commerce said in Parliament, or justified the hikes in the prices of cooking oil, saying that a bottle of cooking oil is sold at 3,900 francs in France, in Paris. Reason why selling it for 1,500 francs is not a problem.
Tell that minister that in Burkina Faso, in Mauritius, a bottle of oil is sold at 5 francs. So why is he comparing only France? So you see, these people, they look for things to justify things that are unjustifiable. These are people who are not living in the real world. They don't know what they are doing. It saddens me that these people, they just sit and say anything. One, I am in favor. Before you become a minister, they should elect you. Most people in a democratic country, before you become a minister, after you've been a councillor, you've been a mayor, be something, they just appoint them. When people appoint you, you cannot exercise your function that you represent the people, or you feel that.
But Maitre, you are talking from.
I'm against appointment.
You are talking from an Anglo-Saxon background. How do you implement that in Cameroon with the two systems that we have in Cameroon?
I'm not really talking from Anglo-Saxon. I'm saying, when you forget, I'm talking generally, not parliament.
But how is that going to happen in Cameroon? Why is that going to happen in Cameroon with the French system? Things are still done mostly the French way. What you are talking?
Lasha, you talking there, Gwladys, and all of you. We are going to make it work. I don't wait for people to do things to me. Cameroon is not a personal property. We are going to implement it. It's going to work. Don't ask me how now, but it's going to work. These people have served their time. That country does not belong to them. If they read the constitution of Cameroon, they say the people are sovereign. The people cannot be sovereign. They don't see their president. The people cannot be sovereign. The prime minister, the member of parliament, they go and hide in Yaoundé. They don't go to Akwaya. They don't see their local people. So we are going to change it, whether they like it or not. Cameroon is a sovereign country. We'll decide. We don't know how, but it's going to change very, very soon. You can fool some people sometimes, you cannot fool all the people all the time.
Okay, Gwladys.
Alors effectivement, Maître, parlant toujours de l'Assemblée nationale, on sait qu'elle a été troublée pendant 2 heures de temps parce que les députés de l'opposition disaient ne pas pouvoir être capables de lire un document de plusieurs pages en quelques minutes. Mais le journal Le Messager nous révèle ce matin que chacun de ces députés aurait reçu plusieurs millions de francs CFA pour pouvoir continuer la session parlementaire et l'achever au point d'avoir ce budget.
I'll tell you, some of those MPs, they don't even know how to read, so I don't know why they want them to give them something for them to read. And I cannot comment on something that I don't know if it's justifiable what the Messager is saying, that they are giving them millions or what. I don't know if you're talking about their salary or wages. But however, if I'm a member of parliament in Cameroon, I'll work for free because they don't do anything. When they go to Yaoundé, they go to hotel, they deputy, they go to restaurant, they have fun. We don't need, as things stand, if we want to save money now to construct the roads in Cameroon, to build hospital, we have to...
Qui donne les instructions?
Je ne pense pas que quelqu'un donne des instructions. Je pense que ce sont des gens qui sont, voilà, qui sont à la direction générale de Cameroun Tribune qui s'arrangent à ne pas parler de lui pour des raisons ou pour une autre.
Apparently, Marie-Claire Nana has received instructions from high quarters to sideline the PM.
La réalité, c'est que sur ce point, nous n'avons pas de preuves réelles ni palpables, mais nous pouvons déjà dire de fond en comble que, ok, les dirigeants, ceux qui s'occupent de la rédaction de Cameroun Tribune, ont un problème particulier avec le Premier ministre camerounais, Joseph Diongouté.
Non, ils reçoivent seulement les instructions. Maitre Alex, you are back. Can you continue from where you ended?
About Cameroon Tribune not sidelining Prime Minister. What I want to say to Chief Diongouté, concentrate to be doing your job. You're a Prime Minister, you have a job to do. People should not be worried. The Cameroon Tribune should be a publicly owned newspaper. Why is he worried? There's no vacancy. People are looking, they are eyeing the top job of Mr. Bia. They are not concentrating on the job. The Cameroon Tribune, why can they not publish, Mr. Lasha, what you're doing, or Gwladys, or myself? It is a public-funded newspaper. It's not a CPDM propaganda. So I don't feel sorry for Prime Minister Diongouté. If they sideline you, they sideline you. I want to know who is the author of that article. Some people, they pay people to say certain things. You are there. You are seeing what, how do you call it?
No. Watchers and... political watchers are the ones that were interviewed by the Guardian Post newspaper, and they complain. They say they have observed that for some time now the activities of the Prime Minister is not being projected by the state-owned national bilingual daily, Cameroon Tribune.
The activities of most taxpayers is not being projected. Why do the Prime Minister want to be projected? I don't care about whether it's being projected. I don't care. I hope I'm still on there.
Yes.
I don't care much if Prime Minister Diongouté should go to Northwest, go to Southwest, go to Ngabo, go to the village and do your job and meet people. I don't care about you worrying about you not being projected in a newspaper. There are a lot of papers that project the Prime Minister of Cameroon. Municipal is to me, I say in quote, the Municipal newspaper. It's a state-sponsored newspaper, and they always put Prime Minister Diongouté. Mr. Diongouté, I'm complaining to why are you always in the Municipal newspaper too? I'm complaining. Yeah, why are you always there? So we should stop this type of games because we are observers too. We observe. We know people who pay to project people's image. Already is a Prime Minister. Why is he worried? Why is he worried about what are they projecting on? What he should do, he should go, he has got a job to do. There's a crisis going on in where I come from, in the Northwest and Southwest region. I want to see people concerned that the Prime Minister is not solving the problem. Today, Boris Johnson is resigned. Prime Minister Diongouté, Ngongo is doing your job. Resign. Don't you have dignity? Don't you have integrity? Don't you have probity? Resign. You don't have a job. You're just there for yourself. You're not serving the people of Cameroon. When you look the line of successor, you're right behind there. So you're not important. If you have any dignity, Prime Minister Diongute resign. That's what a person with dignity will do. The job of a prime minister, they call you a head of government. You sit there, you're not head of government. You cannot appoint one minister in your government. You go to Rwanda, yes, they say you're sidelined. If you're being sidelined, resign. Go and be your chief. Go and run your chieftaincy where you come from. What are you doing there in the Star Building? You said you complain.
No,
you're a chief. To me, chief, there shouldn't even be mixed politics with chieftaincy. I don't do that.
Maitre, he didn't complain. We are saying that observers like yourself, like what you are saying, they are the ones who are complaining that Cameroon Tribune is no longer projecting what Diongute is doing. We didn't say Diongute was complaining. Just a point of correction.
No, I'm saying to you, most people go behind the scene. I've seen people when I was in Cameroon during the national dialogue. They wanted the state-owned newspaper or what to come and interview us and put people they thought that was in favor of them. They do that. That article did not just come from anywhere. It did not come from anywhere. People do that. People manipulate newspaper. People pay newspaper to project them. So it is very important that we know this. What is that a news? I want to hear about price hike. I want to hear about the people suffering in different parts. I want to see the bad roads that we have in Cameroon, no electricity, low voltage. Those are the things that a public sponsored newspaper should be talking about, not about whether an individual. I keep on telling you that I'm not a fan of politics of personality called. We have a problem. We have debt. We have people being killed all over Cameroon. There's no investigation. Wazizi was killed. What have they done? We want to know the fact. Where was Wazizi buried? Those are the things we should know. We should care about the things that matter to our society. It's not about individual. It's not about what one person wants. It is on that newspaper, Cameroon Tribune, sponsored by the state, and it has to be impartial. It has to publish everything. We are talking on your program today. Why can Cameroon Tribune not spot that? Oh, Maitre have come on this and talk and put it there for the interest of public. They have advocated that they should look about Wazizi that was killed and we don't know where he was buried. Why can they not spot that? Why the Prime Minister? So we should stop this rubbish. We should know that the people are sovereign and we have to make things to be practical. We shouldn't just make a paper that we don't use to call it a constitution.
Okay, Maitre Alex, and equally the Guardian Post is, apparently the paper is going offensive this morning. Is accusing the government of continuous borrowing, but nothing to show for, that the government is still borrowing more money without doing the job or channeling the money to the areas that the monies were meant for. And the paper tells us that another 41 billion francs CFA has been secured from the African Development Bank. As we are told, the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development made the revelation at the National Assembly recently. And the paper this morning is saying that government keeps borrowing, but nothing to show for.
However, I will tell you economically, no debt, no money. Government debt is money, generally. But in Cameroon's case, I won't give them that benefit of doubt. Because I keep on saying that since 1960, when I look at the Cameroons, when you look Botanical Garden, it was constructed by who? The colonialists. The trains in Cameroon station, railway, by the colonialists. You look at CDC, by the colonialists. I want any major infrastructure. When I mean major, I'm not talking about to construct a stadium. That Bia and Aijo have ever done in Cameroon. When you look at those buildings, those government buildings, P&T, time immemorial, before I was born, it was there. What have they done for 60 years? Nothing. All they do, they steal money. Then they take people, they go and lock them up in Kondenge. Then they don't take the money back from them or seize their house. We saw, how do you call him? This man, former Minister of Defense, he was drinking wine inside court. It tells you that that country is a joke. Nobody cares. People are there in Kondenge. They allow them, they go to their house, they go and meet their wife and children, they come back, then they call it prison. I've been to Kondenge, it's not a prison. It's a free place. You have VIP. These people don't care about that country. I saw again yesterday, there was a hyper supermarket. Listen, I'm not against the Munzungu. Everything in Cameroon, the newspaper, whether it's a supermarket, you see a white person in front. This, I don't call them white. They let me just say, for the sake of your program, they are not white. They are guinea pigs. These people, they come there, they are the one in front of a supermarket. Why can local people in Cameroon, why can they not do their own things? Why everything? What is a supermarket? What is a building? I don't know if I'm wrong, correct me on your program. The members of parliament are doing a treat for themselves. I'm sure they are constructing, is it a new building for themselves? They care only about themselves. They don't know the people need roads.
That building apparently is Dong Chinois. Dong Chinois is a gift from the Chinese government.
So that's what they say. Nobody gives gifts. We had a gift, the national conference, the conference center in Yaoundé, a gift. Then they remove millions of gold there. There is no gift. Nothing is there for free. But I'm just telling you, we should construct our own thing. We should not allow people, you see, they care. Why can the Chinese not give us a gift? The Baba, Bamenda, is it Baba Jurot? Why can they not give you a gift? Why can they not give you a gift to construct the deep sea port? Why a gift is about the people who are destroying the country, where they're going to sit there and continue destroying the country. If they want to give us a gift, if you construct a deep sea port, it's going to have millions of Cameroonians. There's Bakassi there. We have oil in Bakassi. After they won the case, what are they doing there? Nothing. You won the case, you left the Bakassi. It's as if Nigerians, they should come and take the Bakassi because you people don't need it. When you have oil, you can borrow money and create a refinery that will help the people of the countries. But they are reserving Bakassi for the Western people. They say, keep it for us. Maybe we'll need it in 20, 30 years' time. Bakassi is not for us. These people, they have no interest in our people. And once as our people, they always keep quiet, we are going to suffer in that country because everybody is afraid to die. People die every day. If you are afraid to die, something
is that why some people went to Switzerland or what to sell the oil that you are talking about?
I don't know whether they went to Switzerland, but I understand. I've read something. Somebody came to London to sell oil, and that's the most stupid thing on earth. If you think as an individual, you can come to
très endetté, hein, parce que le journal Émergence nous présente aussi ça ce matin. Le journal nous déclare ce matin que le Cameroun est endetté de la FMI, est endetté de la Banque mondiale, est endetté auprès de la Chine.
My message to these people, what they don't know, if they keep on borrowing money to these people, the greatest law on earth is not the constitution, it's national interest. The day we will take that country, all those debt, they will lose it. We will cancel all those debt in the name of national interest. That's the biggest law. You can do that. So when they keep on giving money to people that we don't know where the money is going, I don't care.
Will you have the strength? Will you have the strength to resist them when they come in another form to cause chaos in your country?
I'm just telling you that any country on earth, you can say we are not accepting, we are not paying this for national interest. National interest is the biggest law, as I say, on earth. It's bigger.
That's what I'm saying, that will you have the strength to be able to resist these people if they want to come and cause trouble?
Listen, resist them in what way? I don't know if America had the strength to resist the people of Vietnamese. So sometimes people think that they are mighty, they have power. I look at it in a different way. So you cannot be giving money to people when you know they are corrupt. In this world, the Western world, if you go and want to take a loan, they look at your credit record, if you can pay the money or whatever. If you cannot pay, they won't give you. These people know that Cameroon is a sinking ship. These people know that the president, they have turned the presidency of Cameroon in a nursing home. They know all those things. So why are they giving money to them? Because they want to own everything. It is wrong. They should know that we are living in a period in a country that nobody is almost responsible. We don't have a president anymore. When I mean we don't see him, we have a constitution that says if maybe the president is incapacitated, anybody can reinterpret it. But when you see a president that does not go out, he doesn't go anywhere, we have a chance to go to court and challenge that he's incapacitated. It's up to the president to come and challenge it that I'm not incapacitated. We have talked on this program, they say age. Age could be part of the incapacitated person. So it is very important. Unfortunately, my colleagues in Cameroon, they are lawyers. They don't know they have a right to follow the law to challenge that the president of Cameroon is incapacitated. We can disagree on that. People go to court to prove a point. Go to court. Let Mr. Biya come and prove in the court in Cameroon that I'm not incapacitated. But everybody just sit quiet. Then we blame Paul Biya.
When you speak, so many people are wondering who have that kind of what we call in court lever to be able to drag, for example, Ngongo to court or President.
It's not about lever. We have a court. Listen, it's not one person. I always like, if we are afraid in Cameroon, we have the Bar Council. The Bar Council could put a set of lawyers. So many people should do it, so it shouldn't be one person. The opposition party, they can say we support it. Then they put a case in court. The problem is not about winning the case. A lot of things will come out during the hearing. Why? Because Mr. Biya will have to come and prove that I'm not incapacitated. Documents will have to come. He will have to tell people. So sometimes a case is about judgment. They will have to decide. They will say, oh, he's not incapacitated because A, B, C, D. People have to do those things. As I speak today, I'm just telling you that the Prime Minister who said in Britain, said a caterpillar will move me for day. He has accepted to resign. Very soon he's going. So at times, if we don't do something, nothing will happen. We just sit and we don't take action. We talk, but we don't do the work. I'm somebody, if you follow my life when I was young, the things that I say, I do it. A lot of people, it's easy to talk. Today we have social media. When I used to do what I used to do, there was no social media. When I used to walk to Ngembo to go and see Pamuna, there was no social media. When I used to go to see Pandangam in Finance Junction, John Buffon, there was no social media. So today, everybody just talk. I have a history. What I say, that's what I do. And when the time comes, we're going to die one day. People are scared that they will kill you. Even if you don't talk, they will still kill you. That's life. We're going to die one day. And you have to leave your legacy. What we have today in that country is certain people who did ABC. And today we are living. If I say I want good roads, if I say I want electricity, if I say I want good water, why should the government be annoyed? And if the government cannot govern, give a chance to other people to try to govern. We sit in a country that we don't understand how to run a country. When you criticize
so who is to blame? Who is to blame? The people who crafted the constitution, or who? Or the people who are supposed to implement?
Do you know something? I keep on telling you this thing. Cameroon constitution is not a constitution. Africa, they can change it every day. I can make a coup d'etat, I've suspended it. So it's not important. If you look at it, this is it. I always look at it. You can read Cameroon constitution in 5 minutes. This is not a constitution. You don't have citizen right. You don't have opposition political parties right. You don't have things that say you can. Have you ever had any case in Cameroon that somebody went to court to fight against his constitutional right? Have you ever had one case since you were born?
Now, maybe people are not aware. Maybe people are not aware. You should make them aware.
No, it's not because they are not aware. In America, when you want to hear something, they'll say the Fifth Amendment, my right to own arms or what. That is your right. It is there. I look inside the Constitution. The opposition does not exist. Maybe it's just one article there. They say opposition, you have to protect the national integrity.
Maitre, on the preamble of the Constitution, you have those rights they are talking about, the rights of Cameroonians.
A preamble is the literature. A preamble, listen, in the UK right now, we have what they call European human rights now. UK wants to make their own Bill of Rights.
But UK does not have a written constitution. Their constitution is not written down. So you cannot be talking about that.
So they say it's not written. But other people will argue that it's written because why? You have convention, you have literature that they write. They don't really have. They don't have a constitution in one book, but it is written. All those conventions are written down. People have seen constitutional lawyers, they have argued that although they say the UK hasn't got a written constitution, they have it. All those things, those conventions, those statutes, that is their constitution. It is written. But one, we will say it's not in a one, maybe booklet, but they have a written constitution. It is written, the convention, the Bill of Rights, those are the constitution.
So how do you make the constitution you say you can read in 5 minutes? How do you make the constitution very powerful so that we can have powerful institutions that will safeguard national interests?
I used to do civics in Cameroon. People should open the constitution. Every power in the constitution of Cameroon, when you look at the powers that are there, when they say the judiciary, then they will go another article. The president of the republic will have to guarantee the independence of the judiciary. You go another one, the legislator. The president will have to appoint this. So all the powers are there. It's about one person. Everything links to one person.
Made by Cameroonian lawmakers. Made by you Cameroonians, the lawmakers. From time
no, it wasn't made by lawmakers. This was drafted with Joseph Owona and few people, 2 people. The 2 or few people, it wasn't. Then when they take it to the National Assembly, they clap, they say they have adopted it. It's a rubber stamp parliament. It is there. You read any international writings, they talk about Cameroon. It's a rubber stamp parliament. Everybody, I'm not the one saying it. Read any legal writings all over the world, they will tell you Cameroon's parliament is a rubber stamp parliament. And that's why I'm calling that in order for us to construct the roads, we should dissolve the parliament insofar as Mr. Biya is there and take the money that we are paying parliamentarian and construct road, make sure we have good water and electricity. We should dissolve it. So I'm calling on Prime Minister John Gunte. You can tell the head of state that we don't need parliamentarians. We can use the money that they are paying them to construct roads that our people.
So who are those who are making the laws and ratifying the international when President Paul Biya ratified those conventions? Who will be the people to sign now to approve or to authorize the president to go ahead and ratify some of the international conventions?
When you keep on talking laws, we know that we don't have laws. The laws, they don't respect it. When a GO should say that they should use witchcraft, which is a criminal offense, to fight people, you know the laws are not important. I'm not the one saying it. So you know, we keep on talking laws. Laws are there to suppress, to oppress people. That's how Cameroon laws are. If you are close to the president, you're close to people who are in power, you can commit crime, you can do anything, you won't go to prison. The only time all those Ondongdong, Aba, all those Polycarp, all of them, the reason they are behind bars is because they were eyeing the position of Paul Biya. If you are stealing in Cameroon, you are not challenging Paul Biya, you are free to steal as much as you want. You see, we are still waiting for COVID Gate, Can Gate, Glencoe. How can you see people steal in your country? You sit there. I can tell you, being in government doesn't mean you're a good person. Most government on earth, they are criminal syndicate. They are gangs of people who are most government on earth. I'm telling you, they are criminals.
But they agree on one thing. We know that the world is ruled by mafia, and without mafia, nothing will move. But they agree on one thing, which is the interest of the various organizations or countries that they run.
Yeah, the point is, when we say country that we run, when you hear about Freemasons or all these secret societies, they are the one running all these countries. It's not us. Democracy, even in the Western world, is a fake. When they see you, they know you are in their organization. You go to president. It's not strange that Tony Blair became a prime minister, Cameroon. It's not strange that Biden or Obama, Clinton. They are people that they know. If a person that they don't know, an outsider wants to become president of Cameroon, you see all these people, the Western country, they will shake because they don't know you. You have to be in that organization. Then they fool us with democracy. That's why last time in your program I said we don't need president anymore. We need committee of people. We have social media. We can talk about Zoom. We agree on certain things. Then we move ahead.
Like in Switzerland, is the police that they are running the affairs of Switzerland.
Yeah, we don't need today say chef d'etat. As we are talking, we have to start discussing. What do we think? People discuss, we debate, then we follow the thing. What do? We should change the system. Have changed. Those presidents in those days are gone. It's about committee. You see why? I like the way China is being run. The president of China is not all that powerful. They have a committee that they sit in, that they are communists, they decide on what to do. And you see how China is developed. Democracy doesn't develop countries. Belgium was developed because they came to Africa, they stole something, they developed their country. Britain was constructed by a dictator. France was constructed by a dictator. If we think in Cameroon, democracy is going to develop our country.
That's why we need Mr. Biya that you guys are accusing to have been a dictator. We need so he can dictate and do things his own way.
Mr. Biya is not a dictator for Cameroon. He's working for France. He's working for the de facto of the... If you are a dictator, that you benevolent despot, you love your country, you should use your money to develop your country. If Mr. Biya is taking the diamond, gold and everything and giving it to foreigners, that's why we have problem in that country in order to stay in power. But unlike the other dictators, they are practicing the British monarch in those days, dictators, they would love their country. They send Afro-Seka, go to Africa. They send Vasco da Gama, all these people go there and steal and bring it back to our country and we develop it. But instead, we steal from our country and we take the money and put it abroad. So we are doing the